Good morning, everybody. Dave Austin here. I'll tell you a little bit about CountryMark. It's a very unique refinery. We have 30,000 barrels a day. So there's a lot less zeros in our numbers than some of the bigger places. CountryMark employs about 500 employees. Turnarounds are a big thing here because we're a smaller group of people. If you've noticed, I was a training supervisor and operations turnaround. That's kind of an odd mix, but we wear many hats at CountryMark because, I mean, everybody just kind of pitches in and gets the work done. We're the only American-owned refinery in Indiana, and it's just a really awesome place to work. I'm glad you all came to join us this morning.
Yeah, just following up to like Dave's saying, one of the other unique aspects of CountryMark, we're a sole refinery. So all of our product coming in, coming out is generated at this one site facility. So as far as turnaround speaking, it's very critical that we stay on time, on budget, and keep things efficient during a turnaround here. Because when we have a unit down, we have no other ways or means to process or handle goods that we deliver to our customers or crude coming in here. So we have to get that unit back up safely and on time. So it's very critical for the turnaround group to execute that. Mobideo was very instrumental in helping us have a very successful turnaround this last event we just experienced. We just recently finished our crude vacuum unit turnaround. It was approximately a 16-day scheduled event. The last time we performed this was in 2015. So we ran many years on a 30,000 barrel a day unit, anticipated a lot of work, a lot of fouling, a lot of issues that we're going to do associated with our open, clean, and spec maintenance turnaround. During that turnaround, we did take on integrating 2 large capital projects. That was Mobideo, again, was very instrumental in bringing those together and sequencing that work. Approximately 27,000 planned man hours associated with that, over 12,000 tasks, days and nights total, about 600 contractors were in and out of our facility. So with a total of 750 workers, including inspections, turnaround work, CountryMark personnel, and things like that. We started this event early in September was our planned outage. We were on time, on budget. So as far as historical turnarounds go, this was probably one of our best as far as history through our company. And we think, again, Mobideo was very instrumental in helping us schedule, sequence, track progress, and make things a very successful event.
Did you guys feel stressed or nervous at all, having only 40 days to get ready to try something totally new?
So yeah, absolutely. There was definitely some stress there, some concern of implementing the software, getting it all to have the information in it that we needed to utilize. And we didn't even scratch the surface of the capabilities of what Mobideo could provide for us. However, we did integrate our Primavera schedule that we had built with all the steps from every work order, work task that we had to do. And that was very easily done within a short duration we had and then assigning different tasks to different roles was successful.
My first thought was, oh my gosh, we're going to get these guys to use iPads instead of, writing it down on a little note and turn it in at the end of the day. That scared me because I'm like, oh my gosh. But it turns out that if you can send a text message on your phone, you can do an update in Mobideo. I mean, it is that simple. Anybody can do it.
It's really getting the buy-in and getting everyone trained in your own organization and your contractors that you've selected with familiarity with how it's going to be implemented, their duties and their responsibilities, and what information that different individuals can pull out of the software. With the change management plans that Mobideo provides, we were able to ease a lot of those concerns that we had and show that definitely is something that was not going to be a serious issue.
We said, guess what? You're going to do this, right? So they're here to work for us. I said, okay. Several of them said, here's a Mobideo person. Show him what you want us to do, right? That was great. That was the greatest thing in the world. That guy was on top of it. One of the contractors we had that had the most tasks, he'd actually seen Mobideo, not used it a lot, but he kept coming up to me every day. He's like, man, this is pretty slick. He said, this is so much better than me trying to keep track, go back to the office, make a little spreadsheet and try to tell my boss and try to, coordinate things together. He's like, it's all right here.
Yeah.
Like I say, I mean, it's as easy as sending a text message to get rid of it. So there were several contractors and it didn't matter, young, old, man, woman, it didn't matter. They showed up and they're like, whoa, what is this? This scares me. I'm not kidding you. And myself included, right?
Yeah.
I'm not a computer whiz by no means at all. And we're like, look how simple this is. You don't have to get into all the reporting. You don't have to jump in there to update the task as a contractor. Click, 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 done, sign your name, and it's over with. So, I mean, it's very easy to train, very easy to train.
Within 2 weeks, we had a very good lesson learned document ready to present to our leadership team and people here at CountryMark.
Yeah, so that's a really good point. One of the main benefits of using a digital system like ours is, I know when we come and do lessons learned, we just go up and we throw a ton of numbers up there to show you how you performed. So when we came up and did that for you guys, was there anything that like stuck out to you? Were you kind of shocked by how many numbers I could show you about how you guys actually did?
Yeah, definitely. With so many of the BI reports and such that are there were even things that we wanted specifically to our units and to our operations and to our leadership that they wanted to see, that we were able to work with Mobideo and generate some BI reports that probably improved upon their platform and were totally custom.
This top graph up here, this is pretty much just a kind of a standard earn rate chart that you'd see, through any kind of project management software, whether it be P6 or something else. So pretty standard earn rate. So what this graph is down here, though, is it shows you what your actuals are compared to your plan. So if you have these orange bars here that are negative, what you're actually doing is you're actually doing more. You're actually doing more than what your plan was. So you can see that they started really, really strong here, actually getting ahead of their schedule. They kind of tapered off a little bit. Then there was this middle section here where they started to slow down a little bit. Then you can see here towards the end, whatever they did here, kind of whatever decisions they made within these days here, they got right back on track and they were able to end this turnaround exactly when they were planned. So, Kirk, could you kind of talk to me about kind of what happened in this area here?
Yeah, so kind of following the histogram here and the graphing, what we're looking at early on, you can see that's when everything is being opened. That's when a lot of demolition work is happening for the capital project portion. And then once you get towards the middle there, where we started losing earn rate, is more or less Mobideo allowed us to raise those flags so we could address any issues where contractors were not necessarily checking off their task, showing their work is earned. They may have been completing tasks in the field, and we were able to go to that contractor and say, okay, where are we falling behind at? Where do we need help at? Where do we need to reallocate some resources? What can we do to help you? Are there things CountryMark can do to ensure, maybe we slow down some turnaround activity to open up some area for more capital project contract work to happen? So we were able to make a lot of, I'd say, game time decisions, in the field at the time, real time scenario, instead of waiting on at the end of the day shift, a foreman coming with a 3-shift look ahead with highlighted things that they have got done. And then our scheduler spending 12 hours updating every foreman's handwritten notes to provide us information. So with the checkoffs and the showing work complete, we were able to make those game time decisions on what we could do to open up space and keep productivity going. And you can see, the graph looks quite a bit drastic there, but if you look, it's only 2 or 3 days, and we had things back on track and righted the ship, and we're back on track to stay where we need to be.
Yes. So these graphs actually helped us it changed the way we look at turnaround. We have a turnaround meeting, right, every day. All the heads of the contractors, they come together. The old way we used to do it was, hey, here's what I did this, I did this, I did this. And everybody's like, hey, man, right on. You did a lot of work today. Sign the task off. Let's talk about what you need. What do you need to get the next task done? That's where our meetings have changed to now. We talk about future events, tasks, hey, we need this crane moved out of the way so we can get this other piece of equipment in here, or whatever it is, right? Equipment moving or people moving, just assets, period. So we talk about future instead of what's already done. Sign it off in the Mobideo. Now we can see it on the graph. Hey, we're right where we need to be.
When we started this, when I had my first turnaround end of day meeting, day one, it was, we were going to be forward thinking, forward looking. And too many times we've spent in the past talking about, we come in, we talk about what we've already got done.
Right. Yep.
And then keep working safe, keep doing a good job. Well, now we know what we've got complete. What are we looking at going forward? What can we do to help reallocate resources, open up areas, resequence work, which that was a great benefit to my scheduler. Instead of having her just update a P6 schedule, we're able to use Mobideo to push that data back into P6 to get better 3-day look aheads, 3-shift look aheads, to be able to let the foremen and the contractors also make those decisions, what they had to do, looking forward to increase their productivity and stay on schedule.
Every contractor tells us their schedules. That's what we plug into our schedule, right? We don't know how long it's going to take the heater apart and redo it all, so they give us the schedule. They know the steps they put in there. And I'm sure they all put a little buffer in there for themselves, right? I mean, I would. I don't want to fail, right? So they know the steps. Sometimes 1, 2, skip a few, gets the job done. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you have to do step 3, 4, 5 to get to the end of it. So when they started updating, we knew right then, hey, step 4, what's going on here? Oh, I forgot to update that. Okay, that stopped after about day 2 or 3. We would go in here and it's like, hey, it gives you a flag. This is going to be late, like 6 hours, right? We set up a 6-hour thing to say, hey, there might be an issue here. We would go talk to the contractor. Is there an issue? Nope, my bad. I forgot to update. Then we're good. Maybe there was an issue. That give us that warning. You said you're going to be done by the end of this shift. We're halfway through and you haven't even moved it to 50%. You haven't even started this task yet. What is going on? So that gives us some more of that looking forward type of view instead of, hey, the end of the shift, now we just lost 8 hours, right? So we can see it before it even happens. It gives us a little warning flag to say, hey, something might be going on here. So that took our time, allowed us time to go and kind of chase that around off of the task summary report right here.
So what this report does right here is this is just the democratization of the schedule data. This is all of the schedule data with the progress of all the activities, so where you can go in and filter and sort by, whether it's you're managing a contractor group or whether you're in charge of inspections, no matter what it is.
Yep.
You can start here, look at your task list to see what are the things you've got to get done, sort by the, whether it's on the critical path or whether it's something that's coming up today. So like kind of explain to me how you saw contractors using this and how you would use this to interact with them.
Every morning when I would come in, I'd come in nice and early. I would pull this report up. And this was the first thing that I did every morning. I would look, all of the completes, right on. So I would start getting some of those flags showing up here. Hey, 6-hour warning, maybe. That's what I would do. I would take off just to double check, hey, what's going on here? And like I say, after a couple of days, they see me coming, right? Oh, here comes Dave. He's gonna bust my chops about updating Mobideo, So they started doing it like they're supposed to because they knew I was coming back again the next day. But there were problems. We went through there and it's like, hey, 6 hours, man, it's gonna be pushing it. It's gonna be pushing it tight. Hey, Kurt, you might want to think about this. We got to get this crane out of here because the next task is almost ready to start. So, I mean, that's an awesome report. Management loves this report. They can sit back and say, and this particular report we have on here, everything complete, looks awesome. It wasn't always that way.
What Mobideo allows you is to have that mobile solution to take your schedule out. We also have a 3-shift look ahead, for example. So you can have your 3-shift look ahead that's live, integrated with the P6 schedule showing you live real-time data as things are being completed, on your device actually out in the field. So these guys were using all that out in the field, everything from the contractors all the way out to the foreman to you guys managing them.
You can show them. You can hold your tablet up there and say, hey, this task is not done. What's going on? They can't just feed you a line.
Yeah.
Oh, we're about to get it. We're almost done. Task number 5. What's going on here?
Yeah.
You know, you can get it narrowed down to, here's the questions I'm asking you, not are you done with your job? You know what I mean? So it helped us too, because I'm not a scheduler, but I can read this schedule and I can go ask you a question. Hey, why are you not done with task 5? You know, so that was pretty helpful.
Yeah, the biggest time save as far as the scheduler was actually being able to forward and schedule, not just do updates, not just take something, you know, because it's in there.
Yeah.
So her ability to actually schedule and keep things moving forward and resequence events depending on how things are actually being progressed and accomplished in the field was the biggest benefit to the scheduler there by keeping that schedule. By the first graph we showed how we're able to pull it back on schedule whenever these updates are showing that we're falling way behind and not tracking where we need to be. She was able to update that schedule and we could resequence work, and that was the biggest time saver as far as that goes.
Actually, the operations manager told me he was off site during the beginning of the turnaround, and he would pull this up and he said it was awesome. You know, off site, you didn't have a clue what was going on here before because it was written on the board.
Yeah.
You know, and I hate to even say the word COVID, but guess what this does? It gets everybody out of the permit shack.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a cool thing, right? There's a lot of stuff. I need a hot work, I need a safe work, I need a confined space. The operators are there. Now this contractor needs something, this one needs something, this one needs something. Go on your digital wall chart and you can see probably most of what you need from afar. You don't have to bother the operator, gives him time to do his job. It just makes everybody more efficient. This was awesome. This was awesome.
Inside MobideoSTO, what we do is we can connect directly to your planning systems. So as your bill of materials are being created, what we can do is then actually see what are the materials that you've created inside your planning packages. We then B, can track when you ordered all of those materials. C, track when all of those materials are actually being received or what their expected receive date is. And then the last part of materials management, kind of for us, as far as readiness is concerned, is actually kitting all of those materials. So what you can do inside of our software is those materials, once they've arrived, you can kit them all, assign them into the work package, you know, take a picture of where it is on the shelf, tag a GPS location so that when a contractor is coming to work on day 1 of the turnaround, they know exactly where the materials are, so you're not waiting on anything. As we all know, every turnaround has change in it. That is the nature of the beast. That's, you know, part of the fun / the stress and frustration of it sometimes. Because we know that there's going to be change that's going to come, part of the MobideoSTO software is actually managing all of that change and discovery work. Everything from the person in the field initiating that discovery work, from, you know, taking pictures and gathering information, to then it automatically rolling to somebody like an engineer who's creating a repair plan, all the way rolled up to, you know, somebody like you, Kurt, or even a site manager who has to actually go put their stamp of approval on it and say, let's go run and do that. Delays happen throughout turnarounds for tons of different reasons. And we think there's a couple of different types of delays though. So there's something that we call a minor delay, which is something that, you know, is a shorter set period of time where, hey, permits slow getting out the door, you know, I'm late 30 minutes to start my job. So that delay, for example, needs to be tracked, because over enough time, you need to be able to see where those delays are so that you can try to remove those roadblocks before they happen. But then there's a second type of delay. The second type of delay is something that we're calling more of a major delay. And a major delay is where it's, hey, there's a roadblock or an impediment in front of me to where I need to be reassigned to other work. Well, when that happens, like, time is of the essence, and you need to reassign somebody, A, to another work to keep them working, but B, to reassign them to the right work. So a lot of times in the chaos of a turnaround, what somebody will do is they'll say, hey, I can't do this job, I'll just move it to the next one. So what we can do inside of our system is actually highlight, send a notification to, you know, a manager who will actually direct them on where to actually, you know, move on to their next task. So talk to me a little bit about delays in your event.
everyone sees delays typically as a negative thing. When we look at Mobideo and tracking delays, it's also a tool to help us get improvement and to be better. And also for us to be notified ahead of the time when we could expect a change order from a contractor for something that's going to cost extra time or add to the schedule. So if they can go ahead and put those in there as delays, it helps us improve with flow during the event and along with future budgeting and what we have to look for down the road.